You hear me? If I shout, yeah? Okay, what we're going to do, guys, next hour and a bit, we're going to do a quick cookery demonstration. You're going to have a break halfway through this, okay? So we're going to cook 4 dishes in total. We'll cook 2, take a break, and then you come back. The idea of this is really just to show you some basic dishes, cooking techniques, knife skills, how to set up your area, stuff like that, okay? What we don't want to see is you replicating these dishes for your projects. You can use the methods and some of the recipes, but we don't expect to see the same. And your dishes will have more on them than we have on our dishes, okay? Few of these dishes miss a few elements that will help you out. So 4 dishes in total. I'm going to start with a really simple fish dish. So I have some plaice here. Okay, you can use any fish you like. White fish versus oily fish. I suppose oily fish is healthier because you've got the essential oils in it, the omegas, okay? If you are using fish for your dish, what we'd love to see, guys, is you filleting the fish on the day, okay? If you look at the dynamic learning account that your teachers will have the password for, go online, your mentor chef will help you. If you have a local fishmonger, go in there and see if they'll let you work for half an hour. If you're filleting fish on the day, it really shows us that you've really researched what you're doing. And it's a skill, you know, rather than buying in a packet of salmon from Aldi, 2 little salmon portions from God knows where. Get local fish, and if you can fillet it, it's a lot better. Now this was filleted, I got my fishmonger to do it. But I'm going to skin the fish, and all we're going to do, we're going to make a little prawn mousse to go inside this fish. Now, when you're using a chopping board, guys, put a cloth underneath it, and it will stop your board slipping, okay? Why do you think I'm doing that? You gotta take your fingers off, okay? If you're not set up properly, if you don't have the cloth underneath, the chances are the board's gonna slip and you're gonna take your fingers off. And when you're cutting, concentrate on what you're doing. Most chefs cut themselves when they're talking to their buddy next to them. And the next minute they slip with a knife and there's a lump of finger in your fish, which we don't want, guys, okay? So, just take your time, look at what you're doing, practice your knife skills. It only comes in time, guys. Knife skills, once you master knife skills, I think cooking's easy. Preparation is what takes the time, okay? So master your knife skills. You see the way myself and Louise are set up? So we have everything at hand, okay? We have everything at hand, colour-coded chopping boards, everything there, cleaning as you go. That's the only way you'll achieve your dish in the time that you have. And it's the same when you do your home economics exams, guys. You have to be organised, yeah? You don't want 5 minutes into cooking a big pile of rubbish on your bench, do you? Okay? Because you're just gonna not know where to start. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take some of this fish and we're gonna put it into a food processor with some prawns. We're gonna chop it a little bit. Now you could do this with chicken, make a chicken mousse and stuff chicken with it. You could put black pudding into it, roast peppers, mozzarella, different stuff, okay? Some of the fish into there. We're going to keep these 3 small pieces and some prawns. Good pinch of salt to help break down the fish. If you're making this with chicken, you often add an egg white to it to bind it. You don't need it with fish, there's the protein in there, okay? So, a bit of salt, a bit of pepper, and some lemon zest. And then we're going to blend it up. We're going to blend it up and add some cream. And then we're going to put that onto our fish, roll it up into a little roulade, and bake it in the oven. How long do you think that will take to cook, guys? Have a guess, come on. Yeah, 10 minutes, I say yes, yeah? About 10 to 12 minutes, depending on the size of your fish, okay? You don't want to overcook your food, guys. But it's very hard for us to give you exact times for cooking steaks, etc. You don't cook steaks by time, you cook them by temperature. Okay, so a little digital thermometer is a great way for testing your steaks. 40 for rare, 40 degrees centigrade for rare, 58 for medium, etc. So you cook by time rather than temperature. I'm going to show you how to test this fish when it is cooked. So we're going to blend that up. Now you could use lobster. I was saying this last week. The one thing nobody's cooked yet is lobster. And oysters. We haven't had lobster or oysters. We haven't had. Offal. Yeah.
Livers and kidneys, hearts, things
Absolutely.
like that.
All the good stuff. Brains. Good stuff.
Brains, sheep's heads.
Boar. You know, this lovely Irish boar now. There's a place in Cork. I think it's called. Put it on Instagram. Ballyweenan House. I think they do boar. You know, which is amazing meat. So nobody's tried that. But you could use lobster for this. You could put some crab meat into it. You could really play around with this, okay? So, blend that up. And that's your little fish mousse, okay? Now, if you were making this traditionally, before they had food processors, they used to chop the meat by hand. Then they used to push it through something called a drum sieve, okay, which is a really fine sieve. It took hours, okay? We have food processors now, so you don't have to do that. So, mix that together, onto the fish, onto a little buttered tray in the oven. Now what we're going to serve with this, we're going to make, some chopped herbs if you like. We're going to serve this with a little julienne of vegetables, which Louise is going to explain to you in a while, and a white wine butter sauce. What is that dish missing? We have fish, we have vegetables. Think of your food groups. What are we missing in that dish? Carbohydrates, yeah? So what would you serve with that as a carbohydrate? Potatoes, yeah? Brown rice, okay? So, not 5 big balls of mashed potato, guys, and a little piece of fish in the middle, okay? You're mad for spuds, okay? So if we get that as your project, we'll say, look, less, you know, less potato. This is the star of your dish, the rest is the garnish, yeah? Okay? So yeah, we're missing a carbohydrate to get that balanced meal. Don't be afraid of cream, guys. Don't be afraid of butter. Margarine's the worst stuff ever. Yeah, you get nice cupcakes with it. You know it is. I think cupcakes with margarine are amazing, but it's not healthy. Okay. So onto your fish. Roll it up. Butter tray that Louise did for me. Thanks, Louise. Onto your tray. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm using some butter, I've got the paper from the butter here, butter papers. I'm just going to cover the fish with that as well to keep it nice and moist, okay? So a little bit of salt and pepper. And in the oven, yeah? Easy enough? Okay, I'll pass you over to Louise now.
Okay guys, so if you look at your recipes, it says julienne of vegetable, okay? So what all that is just a fancy French term for a cut, okay? So the whole idea of this is that it's fine precision cuts, and I'm just going to show you how to do it kind of slowly and safely as well, most importantly. So as Mark was saying with knife skills, it's best to start off slow, take your time, get the accuracy right. The speed will come after, okay? So for the vegetables today we're using, everybody know what that is? Courgette, or marrow, and carrots, okay? So these are nice vibrant colours. When we come to cooking these as well, we don't want to overcook them. We want to keep the nutrients there, keep them nice biting. So we're going to cook them al dente. So what that means, like, you know, when you eat your pasta and you've got that nice little firm bite in it, it shouldn't be soggy, it shouldn't be overcooked. There's nothing worse than looking at a plate and it's got brown broccoli on it or something that used to be a vegetable. So just teaching you about cooking terms in that sense, not overcook meat, keeping a nice vibrancy. So we start with the carrots. So we're just going to top and tail. And again, just take your time. So what you do is you start off with one, keep that as your template. So by template, I mean everything being the same size. You want them to cook at the same time. You don't want one piece of vegetable to be overcooked and the other piece to be raw, okay? Anything trimmings like this, we always keep them in the restaurant. They're important for things like stocks and soups and stuff like that, okay? So again, keeping your template. Okay, so we go with them three. Then put it like this so it's level. It's not rolling around the place like this, okay? And that's again like a safety thing to think about when you're going to cut. If you're not comfortable with a bigger knife, use a smaller knife, especially for smaller jobs like this. So all I'm going to do is trim off one edge there, and that'll stop it rolling. Again, keep that for your stocks and soups. You want to keep going around there and take off the edges, and you're just kind of squaring it up, and it gives you just a nice square like that then to work with, okay? From there then you're going to make start your julienne cuts. So again, taking your time, keeping your fingers tucked back, and most importantly your thumb. A lot of people forget that, and that's going to be the first one to go as well, okay? And your pinky tucked behind, okay? Then take maybe 2 at a time. And again, when you get faster at this, you're going to be chop, 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 flying through, okay? But just at the start, just be aware that you're learning, okay? So julienne means matchstick, so that's the cut we're going for, okay? And you can make them as thin as you want with regards to that, but make sure they're the same size, because again, when we look at cooking, we want them to cook at the same time. So just to finish them off there. And we do the courgette the exact same, but I'm going to keep the skin on the courgette, so that's for 2 reasons. So one is for the colour, nice colour on the skin, and as well a lot of the vegetables have a lot of the fibre and the protein in the skin. We're talking about nutrition, and we want to keep that as well. With these 2 as well, one will cook before the other. Which will cook faster? Shout it out? Courgette, yeah. So we'll put the carrots on first, and then we'll pop the courgettes in after that. We're going to finish them then in some butter, a bit of salt and pepper. Seasoning is really important, guys. You can't stress that enough in everything you're doing. You see the way Mark is seasoning everything. Food needs to be seasoned for it to come alive, otherwise it's going to be bland. And always start with less, because you can add more, but you can't take it away. And so the whole idea is that you keep tasting your food all the time, just to check if the seasoning is there. That's enough then. Go on to this one. And again, you've kept a template. You want them to be the same size. Again, when we're thinking about this in particular, we're looking at what the dish is going to look like at the end. So always keep trying to think about what you're going to present it, what's going to look, what way, shapes, sizes. Looking at different coloured plates, shaped plates as well is a really good idea. A dish can look totally different on a round white plate, maybe to a black slate plate, even to a wooden board as well. So just keeping your options open when it comes to things like that as well.
So we're going to serve with this dish, guys, is a white wine sauce. Let's explain it while Louise is chopping them. What I have in here is some white wine vinegar, some white wine, and I just boiled that until I had about 2 tablespoons left. Then I added some cream. We're going to bring the cream to the boil. I'm going to take it off the heat, and I'm going to whisk in the butter until we have a nice glossy sauce. It's called a beurre blanc, okay? I'm going to finish it with a load of chopped herbs. Put crab meat into it, prawns, okay? Grapes is a classic French dish, sole bronique with grapes, okay? So basic little white wine butter sauce. So I'm going to bring that to the boil. I'm using unsalted butter because there's no salt in it. Because if you use salted butter, it can be too salty, okay? So if you use unsalted, at least you can add a little pinch of salt at the end, rather than having a sauce that's too salty. And just on seasoning, as Louise was talking about it there, you can always add more, guys. You can always add more chilli, you can always add more salt, you can always add more pepper. There's nothing worse than making something that's too salty. There's nothing you can do. So taste it, add a pinch of salt. If it needs a bit more, a bit more. You have to taste your food when it's cooking, guys, because everything changes. Textures. How do you know if it's burnt unless you taste it? How do you know if it's too salty, okay? Flavours intensify when you cook. So it's all about a little spoon, having a taste. As you're cooking, you can go as you go, yeah? Does that make sense? So I'm going to let that come to the boil. I'm whisking the butter. With the fish, I'll show you how to test it. When you're cooking pork and poultry, okay, so pork chops, chicken, what temperature should you cook that to in the centre, guys? Does anybody know? 74, 75, yeah? They say 74 in Ireland, they say 75 in the UK. I always think of 75. 75 staying alive. Teachers might remember the Bee Gees. I don't, because I'm a little bit younger. But the Bee Gees had a song called Staying Alive in 1975, and that's a good way to remember, okay? So 75 degrees in the centre of your food is cooked. Don't have to worry about beef, unless it's minced beef. Fish, if you cook it 75, it's going to fall apart. Fish 60, 62 degrees centigrade in the centre, even less for tuna. You won't kill somebody with undercooked fish, the majority of it. Think of sushi, okay? Japanese food, sashimi, stuff like that, okay? So I'm going to show you how to test the fish in a while. So I'm going to whisk this in, pass you back to Louise there, and...
Yep, so I'm going to pop the carrots on first there, guys. So it's important to put them into boiling water straight away. start the cooking process, and a bit of salt you already put in there as well. So I'm going to just blanch them, like I was saying, to al dente, so they should have a bit of flexibility and fill it off. And just towards the end I'm going to put in the courgette. So courgette is quite a spongy vegetable, so it'll be similar to the texture of aubergine, mushroom as well, which we'll have later. So they tend to soak in a lot of it, so you don't want to overcook it, especially in water. And like I was saying earlier, we're going to finish them in a pan with a bit of butter. At that stage then you can add herbs and obviously your seasoning as well. So because we're using carrots and courgettes today, you can use a variety of vegetables there. You can have turnip, you can have lazy parsnips, something like that. So like we were saying earlier, today is all about just giving you ideas, giving you the tools to go ahead as well. So I'm just going to pop these in now.
See, we have plates getting warm, guys, okay? One thing the judges will do, the minute you put up your dish, the first thing they'll do is test the size of the plate. Test it, see if it's hot. You can't do that with a glass plate, we know that, or slate or wood, okay? But and that's taken into consideration. Your plates need to be clean as well. You know, if you go to a restaurant, the type of food you guys are producing is restaurant standard food, okay? You'll find after 6 or 7 weeks of entering, your dish develops. And you'll see dishes that could literally feature on Michelin-star restaurants, okay? If you're paying that sort of money in a restaurant, you don't want to have your plate put down in front of you with a big dirty thumbprint on the side, or a hair, okay, on the side of the plate. So it's really important you have hot, clean plates. Okay, that's what it's come down to over the years, guys.
Yeah,
I know, you know, we don't, saying to the bunch of students I just know now, we don't want you to see this so much as a competition, guys. We want you to see it as what you learn. If you don't progress from today, you still learn something from today. Yes, everybody wants to win, guys. But, you know, it's not about winning, it's about the opportunity of you hopefully going to work in a professional kitchen, to work with professional chefs, you know, to learn what you learn from your project. That for us is the most important thing, guys. We don't want X Factor, we don't want Britain's Got Talent, we don't want that kind of stuff, okay? We just want you to learn and enjoy the experience. And it's a great thing to have in your CV, guys, you know, so it's too much competition, especially at your age, guys, you know? Yeah. So we won't mention the word prize or winners again today. Okay? So, right, that's the sauce. Good pinch of chopped herbs. I have some dill, some coriander, and some parsley. That's our sauce. Our fish. Take out the oven. Now the way to test your fish, okay, chefs, you kind of touch the fish and get a feel for it, okay? Problem is with doing that, you guys are going to press it so hard, you'll break the fish. You'll be trying to get it to, you know, flake. So the way I was taught to test fish, which I've always stuck to me when I was 16 years of age and I still use it, knife in the centre of the fish for 6 seconds. Or you could use your little temperature thermometer and look for 60 to 62, yeah? Take it out, just tap it on your wrist very gently, not like that, guys, okay? Like that, and you should have that little reaction, like that, okay? If you're like that, it's not cooked. If you get a big blister and you're like, Jesus Christ, you've overcooked it, okay? So just that little tap on the wrist, okay? So, yeah, that's it. Fish is cooked. So onto a yellow board for cooked food.
So you all know your colour-coded boards. I know the group earlier was very aware of it, even though it was written on the wall behind me and I didn't realise they were just calling it out. So obviously yellow is for cooked. Brown is, if you think of brown as, we'll say the earth, so it's root vegetables, potatoes, things like that. And then the green is for salad items, maybe tomatoes, things like that. You have your white for your bread and your dairy, and then red for raw meat, which is combination as well.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, right, let you finish that, Louise. So we're going to plate one up each. You know, we're just going to simple, there's no set rules of presentation, guys. We help you with presentation. Go on Instagram, look at what the top chefs are doing. Loads of images, we'll help you, we'll send you images that we have or we find, and we'll help you present the dish. And remember, on the day of the cook-off, your mentor chef's there to help you plate the dish. They won't plate it for you for the finale, guys. If you get through to the next stage, we don't plate the dishes. It's not fair, and by that stage you should have a good idea of what your dish should look like, okay? But we will help you for the cook-offs, okay?
Yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. The other thing we ask on mentoring this year, guys, and Mark will explain more, if you can just work with your mentor chef, Okay? What's happened over the years is students have gone to other chefs that they know, and it becomes a whole minefield, guys. And it's very disheartening for us because we've spent so much time mentoring you, hours and hours, and you've gone to another chef and it's all blown out of the water. And we've wasted our time, we've wasted your time, okay? You know, we've wasted 6 or 8 hours of our time, and we're both employed, we're both busy, we do this on our own back. And we're not, I think that's fair, you know, just to try and keep it to one mentor. Does that make sense, guys? You know, yeah, get a bit of advice from a chef. That dish looks lovely, it tastes great. But when you start getting crossed wires, we just found it's become too difficult over the years. It's not that we have anything against other chefs, guys, absolutely not. But just, you know, try and work your mentor, guys. You build up a relationship with this guy. You know, I think that's fair, isn't it, Louise? You know, you had an instance, I had it last year.
It's a bit of confusion as well.
Yeah,
oftentimes
confusion as well. It's just,
one
yeah, it's
person
too
says
confusing.
one thing, somebody else says another thing. It's like, you know, which way do you go then?
So look, present it however you like. Lovely uniform julienne veg, perfectly cut by Louise there.
So guys, I just finished them, as you've seen there, just a little bit of oil. Make sure your pan is hot always as well before you put anything in it. And then when the oil is in again, just leave it heat up again so that instantly when something goes into the pan, it starts cooking and it doesn't stew in that. So you want a nice kind of glaze, so just add a bit of butter, salt and pepper, and just to taste it as well then, just to save it even more.
Okay, so the fish is lovely and moist because we haven't overcooked it. Cut those little bits off, that's the bits you can taste yourself, okay, when you're cooking. So a little bit of your sauce. You know, the trend is not heavy sauces now, really. So a little drizzle of the sauce and serve some on the side for the judges to taste, okay? So you might put a little bit over. Okay, little drizzles around the plate. And that's it, that's my way. Louise is going to do it slightly different, so we'll have our own presentations, yeah? So easy enough, guys. You see yourself adding another 2 elements to something like that and coming up with a really class dish. Okay, that's one.
What do you guys think of, we'll say, when we were talking about garnishes earlier, your meat is the hero or the main thing of the dish, or the protein is, sorry, so in this case it's the fish. That should be, there should be the most amount of that on the plate. So there shouldn't be more vegetables, which is your garnishes, there shouldn't be more sauce, so if you're flooding the plate or anything like that. So just be aware of that as well.
Easy enough, guys, yeah? So that is missing carbohydrate. If someone comes to me with that dish, you might add 2 more elements to it. That's enough. And try and think what works together, guys. You're not going to put strawberries or kiwi fruit on that. Okay? A lot of people look at dishes and they say, oh geez, that's lovely, but it needs more colour, and they stick strawberries on top. Kiwis, I've seen it with fish. Think of what works. Classic marriages, tomatoes and basil, strawberries and cream, yeah? Okay, fish and lemon. Think those fish and green vegetables. Don't go, if we see any fruit with fish, yeah, we always probably take it off, to be honest, unless it was grapes, because that is nice with fish, okay? Right, easy enough, guys. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do the second dish, then we're going to take a break after this. We're going to do a fillet of beef. We obviously get a lot of beef featured, because when it comes to beef, Cork and Kerry, you know, you get pretty good beef, don't you, okay? So fillet, your prime cut of beef. How are we going to cook this? Are we going to cook it well done?
Just, yeah, out of curiosity.
Medium rare? We said medium rare. Good man. Excellent, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent, brilliant, yeah? So if you're serving red meat, as in lamb, beef or duck, we do expect it to be served medium rare or medium, or pink, okay? Even if you don't like it, guys, close your eyes, pinch your nose and taste it, because the difference is massive. If you cook a fillet of beef well done, it's like the bottom of your shoe. It's tough. There's no fat in this meat. It's very lean or very little. So just try and think medium rare, okay? Cook it to about 54 degrees in the centre. Medium, 58 to 60, roughly, okay? Just practice. I wrapped my fillet of beef into cling film just to give me a nice shape. About 6 to 8 ounces of meat per person. We'll do 2, we'll do 2 today. Okay? Now, what we're going to do you know, cook it all. You can basically get a little taste on the way out. Yeah, so look at that. So they're a little bit small, but see, I've got a lovely shape there. I just wrapped it really tightly in cling film. You get a lovely round piece of fillet. It's going to look nicer, okay? Now, what we're going to do is cook this. Really, really hot pan. A little bit of oil, and we're going to sear the beef off on all sides. Get it nice and golden, searing all the juices, okay? We're going to do sides as well. You can finish it in the pan then. You can finish cooking it in the pan. You can add some butter and keep basting it, which I'll show you in a while. But I tend to sear it off in the pan, a little bit of butter, into a nice hot oven to finish it, yeah? But it's important that you have your pan smoking hot for any kind of meat, yeah? So a little bit of, we're using rapeseed oil here, has a nice high burn point. Really hot pan, use a pair of tongs if you like. Into the pan, actually before you put it into the pan, a little bit of seasoning. And don't be afraid to work the seasoning into the meat, okay? You know, sea salt, better for you. Tastes like salt, not like table salt or low salt. Higher in essential minerals, lower in sodium. So sea salt, you get Irish ones. Okay, good bit of seasoning. You put it onto your board or a plate, kind of really rub the beef into it, yeah? Get a good bit of seasoning. Otherwise it's going to be bland, guys. Yeah? Into your pan. We're going to sear that off. Let's do about 2 minutes on each side, and then do the edges as well, yeah? Simple enough? Yeah. So, yep.
Okay, so for the garnish for this then, so when you think of proper pairings or things that go with things, when you think of steak, you think mushrooms, onions, yeah? So we're going to stick to that kind of theory, we're going to add a few bits. So what we have here is some baby shallots, okay? So I've just peeled them and I've left the knot on the end. I'll show you why. When you half it, if you take the knot off, it's going to fall apart and you're going to have just onion petals as opposed to a nice kind of solid piece. So we just leave that on. So just make sure you trim it all and, you know, there's nothing on there that's going to be bad for you as long as they're peeled properly, okay? So again, I've got 3 things going to be in this pan, so which is going to take the longest to cook? You know? Shout. Shallots, yeah. These are the firmer ones. So we're going to pop them in the pan first. Then we're going to add the bacon. So what the bacon will do will make it nice and kind of moist in the pan. And then we'll add the mushrooms. The mushrooms, like I was saying earlier, like a sponge, they love flavour, they soak in butter. So what they're going to do is soak in a nice bit of the flavour from the bacon. And that way we won't have to add too much butter at the end. We might have to add a tad, depending on how much fat you have coming off of this. So always be aware of things like that. This is also going to be quite salty as well anyway. So when you're looking at your seasoning, just keep that in mind if you're adding salt to anything that's already naturally salty. So things like bacon, Parmesan cheese, which is naturally salty, blue cheese, a lot of the cheese in general which is salty. Seaweed, which we've had a lot of as well, so that's a great thing. If any of you are into foraging, seaweed is a great natural source of salt as well. You can make like Phillips salt, things like that. That at least use samphire, haven't we? Marsh samphire or rock samphire. So if you're into that, it's an amazing product. It's so good for you as well. So again, nice hot pan, same principle with here. We want to get a nice colour on the shallots. So I've half them there. With the mushrooms then, I'm just going to trim the straw off a little bit. Again, you can go to the trouble of peeling these if you want, but if you're not going to, you know, there's no need to do this as such. Again, all the nutrients are going to be in the skin. As long as they're nice and clean, that's all we need. I'm just showing you that it can be done, but you're going to colour this anyway, so you're going to lose that nice white that you have there. So with them then, we're just going to quarter them. And then go in after this block. So put that pan nice with the oil. Start it off. Do you work with electric or gas in your home economics? Electric mostly, is it? Hands up for gas then? Can you use gas? Yeah. So it is mostly gas that we do have in the kitchen here. We do have a few electric ones. But personally I'd be a bigger fan of the gas. It's easier to control the heat. You can see it with electric, it takes a long time to heat up as well.
Okay, so my beef's seared off there. Use a pair of tongs, guys. Don't burn your arm like I just did. Yeah, okay. Not bad. Okay. So use a pair of tongs to turn the beef over. Put a little bit of butter in the pan. I'm going to take a little bit of garlic. give it a smash. Throw that in as well, get a bit of flavour, put some thyme in. Now if you were to cook this in the pan, you do what's called basting. This pan's a bit small, but you take all of this butter and you constantly baste it over the meat as you're cooking it. But the problem is you've got to stand and watch that. You would do something else. Okay? You don't have to do that for a good kind of 8 or 9 minutes, constantly. So best way to do it, guys, just take your pan in the oven. We're going to use this pan to make our sauce then, because all the sediment from the beef is going to be in this pan with the butter, yeah? So we're going to make our pepper sauce with that. They're going to take, I would imagine, 5 minutes for medium, okay? That's what I'd imagine. Okay, so they go in, and the most important thing is, guys, when they come out, we have to let them rest before they serve them, and we'll explain why later, yeah? Okay? Right, all good.
So just getting a nice bit of colour there, I don't think you might be able to see at the back there. So that's what you want kind of a nice glaze, like you're getting on the beef, just a nice kind of char on the outside. And just turn down the heat then, and at that stage you just kind of want them to cook through. It's nothing worse than eating, cutting into an onion and it's raw. Now again, you want the same principles that we were on about earlier, where it should be al dente, where you're keeping the nutrients there and that nice kind of flavour as well.
Now what we're going to serve with the beef, last year we served the potato rosti with it. This year we're just doing something called potato gnocchi. Okay? Gnocchi is a form of pasta, and it's either made with potatoes or semolina. We're doing potato gnocchi. So what I had to make the mix at the time we have. Baked potatoes, scooped out of the skin, egg yolks, and strong bread flour, same as you'd use for pasta. So strong flour. I've added some horseradish sauce, some chopped herbs and salt and pepper. You can put parmesan in, you can put some sweet potato in, you can make pumpkin, think what's in season, guys, okay? You can flavour this with whatever you like. I love it, it's a really nice thing to make, okay? So you end up with this soft dough. You might have to add a little bit more flour, and what you're looking for is it shouldn't stick to your hands and it shouldn't stick to the table, okay? And that's gnocchi. Now what we're going to do with this, roll it out in sausages, quite thin. And then we're going to cut it into little barrels. Okay, whatever size you like. So whenever you're making this, you know, if it's too sticky, all you got to do is add a little bit more flour, but only just enough, guys. A lot of people make gnocchi or pastry, and they put too much flour down, and they roll it and it cracks. So you can always add more. So I always say to people, when you're making pastry, or last year pasta featured quite a lot in the dishes. If it's a bit sticky, don't worry. You can easily add more flour. If it's too dry, it's very hard to add more liquid to pastry and pasta, yeah? So make them into whatever size you like.
Smell of bacon make you hungry?
Yeah, it's like breakfast.
Just in time for break, so yeah.
No breakfast this morning, just coffee. Yeah. On desserts this year, guys, we will take desserts again, but you have to think a little bit more outside the box. Obviously, what do desserts contain a lot of? Sugar, yeah? And we're talking about, you know, good mood food. Yes, you feel great when you eat that dessert, but you've got to think outside the box. So we're talking about things like using dark chocolate and avocado cakes, beetroot, okay? We had a courgette cake. Louise made a banana bread the other day. It's on Instagram with very little sugar in it. So you're going to have to think of getting the sweetness from your vegetables or something. Try and balance the sugars with proteins. So if you're doing desserts this year, it's going to be a lot more tricky. But we have had them. We have had desserts that have been really healthy, okay? Things like yogurt ice cream, okay? Frozen bananas. Chop them up, or any frozen fruit. Chop them up. If that banana's a bit of lemon juice on them, pop them in the freezer. Take equal amounts of frozen bananas and Greek style yogurt and put it into a food processor. And as it blends, the bananas freeze the yogurt and you make a lovely soft yogurt ice cream. Okay? You have to make that on the day. If you put it in the fridge, it goes too hard. Okay? So you could use frozen mango, frozen raspberries. Okay? That's how you make a really healthy ice cream. If you are making ice creams or sorbets or sauces in advance, we have to have photographic evidence that you've made it in your home egg room or at home. Otherwise, you could have gone up to Wexford and got it from Kevin Dundon. Okay? So we need to make sure that you are doing what you said. And you know, home economics teachers absolutely help the students. You know, that, I think they've been a great help over the years. You all have brilliant home ec students. Obviously they're going to mentor you, okay, if they have time. But yeah, just bear that in mind. Desserts this year, guys, just need to be a little bit healthier. It's just, you know, and it can be done. I won't mentor any desserts this year, I'll leave that to you, Louise. So what we're going to do is take a knife, a little bit of flour, and just cut the gnocchi. Okay? And these are like little pillows. What we're going to do then is just pinch each one like that. Pop it onto a little bit of flour ready for cooking. 2 minutes into boiling water, they'll float when they're cooked. When they're cooked, we're going to get pan with some butter, get a nice little bit of colour on them, so crispy on the outside and soft in the middle. And that's potato gnocchi, guys. I did one year, I had a venison dish and we did sweet potato gnocchi with it. Fantastic, you know, really, really good. So, you know, right, I'll pop them in. I'll check my beef a bit more, just so we have a few.
It's really good to think of alternative starches as well, like the gnocchi is a take on, let's say, pasta meats and potatoes, you know.
Yeah.
There's so many varieties of different potatoes you can do as well, like we mentioned rosti earlier, you can do like a gratin, boulanger, things like that. So thinking outside of the box as well. Flavoured mash as well, so horseradish mash would be beautiful. Yeah. And again, just thinking about the flavour combinations, things that work as well.
So there's our beef. We're going to let that rest. And you've got all this lovely sediment in the bottom of the pan. And that butter. We're going to use that for our sauce. Okay, we're going to take the garlic out. So you let the meat rest. If you don't let meat rest, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be perfectly pink all the way through. When you cook a piece of meat, we've seared it so the juices stay in the meat. You can see the juices coming to the surface there when you press it. Steam rises, doesn't it? So the juices come to the surface. If you don't let meat rest, the juices don't go back through the meat. It also is very hard to carve as well, it's tough. So just let your meat rest on a tray, 3 or 4 minutes. If it goes cool, you can just pop it under your grill to warm it up. But let your meat rest, guys, okay? Right, so, I'll pop the gnocchi in.
Yeah, so again, boiling water, so the water's under boiling oil there before you pop them in. And when they float, isn't it?
Yeah, when they float, yeah.
When they come up to the top, that's when you know they're ready. Now you're still going to finish them in butter, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might be used to do that, please.
Yeah.
If you don't mind. And I'll do the sauce.
Yeah, perfect.
So into your boiling water. And they will just float to the surface when they're cooked. And we're going to make our pepper sauce, okay? So we're going to take the pan. Just a little thing for you there, guys. See how I grabbed that hot pan where it came out of the oven? When you take a pan out of the oven, put a tea towel on it. Okay? And then you're not going to burn yourself. Okay? Otherwise you're going to stick to the saucepan. So just do that. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take some black pepper into the pan with all that lovely sediment. Okay? Get all those flavours scraped off the bottom of the pan. We're then going to use a bit of brandy, or we have white wine, but you can use brandy. It's nicer. Show you now. Okay, so this goes onto the pan, onto the heat. We're going to add loads of black pepper. Basic pepper sauce, yeah? Very easy to make.
So again, it's typical with a steak. You know, you might have black pepper sauce, you might have a blue cheese, it's really good with steak. So garlic butter or flavoured butters, things like that. It doesn't always have to be a heavy sauce. Nice oils as well, flavoured oils, they're a big thing now.
A little bit of Dijon or French mustard, you can use an Irish one. So now kind of scraping all this sediment off the bottom of the pan, guys. Getting all those juices, yeah? Did we have pudding in there, actually?
Pudding under here, yes.
We're going to take a little bit of beef stock. Now I do have it from a beef bouillon cube here, which is fine. Ideally I'd like to see you making stock. So all that sediment there, and add our beef stock.
So guys, they've just come up to the top there, so then we're going to Drain them off really well. Get a pan on hot, and again you want to get a nice colour on them.
So we're going to add the white wine first. Now if you're using brandy, see all that sediment off the bottom, if you're using brandy, the chances are it will flame, which is good. This mostly won't, because there's not enough alcohol in wine. So you'll have flames coming out the pan. You're going to boil any alcohol you put into a sauce, you boil it until you have very little left in the pan to burn off the alcohol. Okay, otherwise all it tastes of is wine, which is actually rotten. It's actually horrible. So if you make pepper sauce, or if you make lobster bisque, one of the distinctive flavours you get if you make lobster soup is actually the burnt brandy. It's lovely, okay? So you always let your alcohol reduce down. Then we're going to add some cream. Bring it to the boil, simmer it till we have a nice pepper sauce. Then we'll serve this dish up, guys. Actually, 2 students. Any volunteers, guys, to plate up this dish? Come on, don't be shy, guys. Yeah?
You look like you want to know.
2 students? Yeah, good man. Excellent. Someone else? Come on, guys.
Maybe one of the ladies.
No volunteers? Come on, guys. Good man. Come out, yeah? Come out. Now, so we're going to boil that now until it's thickened. Did they hold together?
Yeah.
I'll show you now. Joseph, okay. Keep your hands off there, Joseph. You can use my towel there to dry your hands, okay? This is Joseph. Now, I might slightly overcook the beef, that small one, but anyway. This is Joseph.
Use your knee.
Oh, yeah.
Use your knee. So these are kitchen operated sinks, guys. So the whole idea is that you're not using your hands, so use your knee to put the head.
Now, pepper sauce. I slightly overcooked the smaller beef, but there you go. So beef's rested. So you're going to present one of these, okay? So I suggest maybe you do one, Louise, and Joseph does one. What do you reckon? Yeah. So there's our sauce. So if you want to go next to Louise, there you go.
So that's the plate we have to work with. So you're going to have some cream, right? So you're going to have your beef, which we can cut, or we can leave. It's nice to cook, I think. Use 2 pieces each, yeah?
So that's going to be our beef dish, guys. So beef, lamb, duck, any of them. Just make sure you cook them medium or medium rare, guys. I might slightly overcook that. So it just goes to show you, know. Even the pros can mess it up. But what you do is, it's not too bad. What you do is, you know, if you're on the cook-off, you have to cook 1 portion. On the Finale, you have to cook 2. Always bring extra bit of beef, just in case. It's not too bad, yeah?
Definitely over the extra, yeah.
It's a little bit over, but that's not too bad. Right, sauce. It's very hot, Joseph.
How do you make your soup? How would you have it? Yeah? Like that? Right, so.
Now you see when you're plating, guys, we're nice and clean, everything organised before you plate your dish, you know. You've done all the hard work at this stage, all you got to do is present it.
So you can start there. Will I do one? You do one? Follow me. But not follow me, follow me? Yeah. So I probably start with some of this and making sure you have a bit of all the garnish, yeah? So I'm going to go with 3 again, so get that earlier, yeah? So how about I do this, I'll pass the plate over, you decide where the beef goes. That's what we'll do, right? You work away with the beef then. So we use 3 pieces on each one. So we'll push them down there, yeah. Yeah. Now we have our gnocchi. We have some herbs here too if you want to use them for garnish. Lovely.
Don't listen to it, Joseph. Takes a bit to get up in front of 100 odd people. You know?
So the gnocchi then. You want to see see all the negative space. Maybe try filling it up a bit.
Now you may say you want to use dill with beef. Okay.
I'll let you decide.
So think of those classic marriages. Dill goes with fish.
So
Okay.
Try again not to get it on the meat as such,
There it
but
looks
around
good.
it. Try to use nice little drizzles maybe.
Want this to be nice and close to the plate. That's it. That's it. Yeah. That's excellent. Yeah, well done. It's really good, yeah? Yeah, go a little bit more sauce.
You can always serve some more sauce on the side as well,
That's lovely, yeah?
especially when you want the judges to taste it.
Man,
Happy with that?
take a bit of beef in as well.
Have a
Now,
nibble.
okay, that's what you get to see if you come up, guys. You get to taste it. Okay.
We have other people up after the break doing other
Yeah.
dishes as well, so you should be able to
It's really a good man. Give him a round of applause, mate. Right. Okay, guys, we have 2 more dishes to do after the break. Well done, Joseph. Jeez. I certainly wouldn't have cooked in front of people. Someone asked us last week, just before we go on a break, someone asked us, do we get nervous when we do this presentation on the programme? Sorry, my microphone's gone again, so we'll have to shout. So we're going to do a duck dish, and we're going to do a salad. We'll explain more about why we're doing a salad in a while. So Louise is going to start with the duck, and yeah, thank you there.
Okay guys, so referring to your recipe sheets again, so it's a spice duck, okay, so we've just put a nice kind of raw on the duck. So 5 spices is what we use, so you could use different combinations of spices if you want to. The whole idea with this dish, I suppose, is that it's pairing, maybe trying to cut through the fat of the duck. So by doing that then we're using maybe the chilies, the sweet chili sauce as well. Just something, when you do something with duck or anything fatty, you need to counteract it with maybe something sweet or something sharp. So that's what we're doing with this. So for the duck breast, you see there's quite a lot of fat on it. So the fat is good for, going to give it colour, it's going to give it flavour, it's going to protect the meat on the inside, but I'm just going to trim off the excess parts because we don't want too much fat in the pan. When it comes to cooking it then, same principles apply with getting it nice and hot. I won't add too much oil because a lot of the fat is going to render down in the pan and that's going to help cook it anyway, okay? So just going to trim off some of the excess bits. And again, think it from a restaurant perspective, you could keep all these fat trimmings. You can cook them down using for duck fat potatoes or duck fat chips or something like that. Again, thinking about your garnishes with the dish. So again, leaving it on, you still want to protect it. You still want to keep the shape, the natural shape of the duck, okay? When you are putting a spice rub on it as well, just be careful that you're not putting too much because that will darken the skin a lot and when you come to seal it in the pan, it might get too dark on you as well, okay?
Usually we glaze this with a little bit of honey when it's cooked. Well, I forgot to bring the honey this morning. So usually, you know, a little bit of honey on the duck is nice. A bit of sweetness again to counteract.
Through the fat again. So we're going to pop it in just inside down first. Now you just always move it around a bit first. Just to stop it from sticking. Turn your heat down then once it gets nice sealed and we're going to seal it all around the edges again like we did with the meat. Again, you want to hold in that moisture and flavour. Seasoning again, guys, very important, especially underneath. We have the spice rub on top, so don't worry too much about putting it on. So I'm just going to brown it on all sides. And again, like we were saying with this, we want to serve it pink. So ideally, any red meat should be served pink. Okay? So I'm going to try to do that. How long do you think for it to cook then? In the oven. We're going to seal it and finish it in the oven. How long to get it nice and pink? That? 5? Yeah, a little bit more. It depends again on the size. We're going to, like last week now I had it a bit under, so I'm going to give it maybe 7 minutes because these are quite big. So what you could do is seal it, put it in for 3 if you take it out, let it rest and then pop it in for another 2 if you had other jobs you wanted to do. Again, looking back to your time plans, that's really important. I'm not going to mention the time plans yet when it comes to the project. Getting things done ahead of time that you can get done ahead of time do, and things that can be half done and then finished. You want everything to come together in the end. Everything to be hot, everything to be ready to go.
Okay, so while that's going into the oven, we're going to serve this with a stir fry. So we're using a few, Asian ingredients here because they work well with duck. The last 2 years, it's the last time I'm going to mention winner. It was duck. Okay, that was just pure coincidence. It was just the fact that the 2 dishes were just outstanding. All the dishes were. They were just one level ahead. But go for duck. Go for it as well. People seem to like cooking duck. People seem to like eating duck as well. And it does take different flavours. Good, strong, sweet, spicy type flavours. So what we're going to serve it is a little stir fry. That means it's pak choy. You can grow this yourself. Okay, it grows in about 6 weeks. You buy little seedlings, and in 6 weeks you'll have pak choy. It's in your garden. Okay, so you can grow your own pak choy. We've had people picking apples from their granny's gardens. We've had people going out foraging for seaweed and edible flowers. And this, it's all in their projects. And what we want your project to be, guys, is a story of your dish. So where have you got the ingredients from? Why are you using them? This is a childhood memory. It would be lovely. Why do you like this dish? Something you had in your childhood. You're still in your childhood, I suppose, really. But, just memories that you have, okay? And that's what we want from your project. And that's the idea of us doing the Facebook group eventually. It'll be a story of people as well, which I think will be a nice thing to do. So let's have a stir fry of pak choy. We're going to make a sweet chilli dressing. So what I have in here is brown sugar and white sugar and water, equal amounts of each. And I've just boiled it until you get a little syrup. Now this goes really syrupy if you put it in the fridge, okay? It's a bit thin now. So that's a little syrup there. What we're going to add to it, some red chilli. I'm going to take the seeds out of the chilli. Take the seeds out, you get rid of the majority of the heat, okay? So a good sharp knife, carefully. This is your hot part, the little finger, the little pith. If you leave the seeds in, you get a much more intense heat from that pith, and also because you're biting into the seeds, so all of a sudden you get that sudden bang of heat. Okay? So it depends how spicy you like it. So we're going to chop it as fine as we can. Again, good sharp knife, fingers tucked in. Okay, watch what you're doing. Sharp knives, guys, so much better than blunt knives. Blunt knives, you're more likely to cut yourself. You're putting more pressure on the knife. And if you cut yourself with a sharp knife, it's a clean cut. You get nasty cuts from blunt knives, The chef will tell you, Mark, the first 6 weeks of any new student starting here, he spends more time in A&E than he does in the classroom with people with fingers hanging off. And it's just mainly because people aren't concentrating on what they're doing. Okay? It's easy for us to chop away and talk, but fingers in, guys, thumb behind, no little pinky out. Control of the knife. The knife's on the board all the time. There is that form of slicing, but you're likely to take the knuckles off until you get used to it. So that kind of controlled, watching what you're doing, good sharp knife, and it's that easy, okay? So we're going to add some chopped chilli to the dressing. We're going to add some lime juice. Give it a good kind of squeeze and you get more lime out of it. If you find it difficult to get the lime juice out, just pop your limes or your lemons in the microwave for 15 seconds. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It warms them, and then you'll get more juice out. Okay? Obviously, limes aren't Irish, guys, but we're using nice local dark and pak choy and stuff like that. So lime juice. Add some chopped coriander here. Oh, come on. And we're going to add some Thai fish sauce, which is used in Thai cookery to replace salt. Okay, if you're not familiar with it, it's made with fermenting squid. You can try and make your own if you want. Ferment some fish if you want to be really adventurous. Stinks, smells rotten, but when you mix it with chilies and lime and sugar and coriander, it's a real distinctive flavour that's used in a lot of Thai cookery, okay? So a good bit of Thai sauce in there. And then taste it, guys. You don't know what it tastes like unless you taste it. So taste it. Does it need more lime? Does it need more chilli? Now I'd pop that in the fridge then. If that was on my time plan, I'd make that first job. First job, I'd have this made. Pop it in the fridge, it goes a little more syrupy, okay? You have to tie it with chilli. Easy enough? Yeah? So, we're going to do a stir fry with that later. Just one thing, if you look at this dish again, duck, vegetables, what's missing? Think of your food groups, think of your balanced diet. Carbohydrates, yeah? So what would you add to this for carbohydrates? Yeah, just rice, yeah, some brown rice. Remember, white is shite, lads. Remember that one. If you're using rice or you're using pasta, go for brown. It's much healthier, okay? So yeah, you could do whole grain noodles, soba noodles. You wouldn't put a big bowl of mashed potato on the side of it, would you? You don't go to the Chinese and ask for a big bowl of mash. And we definitely don't want chips. You don't want any 4-in-1s or anything called them, okay? So, you know, noodles, whole grain noodles, stuff like that, yeah? Okay, so what we're going to do now, while we're waiting for the duck to cook, we're going to do a little salad. The reason we do a salad, people often think of salads as winter foods, okay? You can do beautiful, summer foods. You can do beautiful autumn and winter salads, okay? Really simple. Now this would be a great accompaniment to a dish. So I actually, when I mentored someone a few years ago, we did this dish, I think it was with scallops. Okay, this salad, or was it lamb? One or the other, okay? So what we have, some sweet potato and butternut squash, cut into nice big chunks, a little bit of rapeseed oil, roasted them in the oven for about 20 minutes with salt and pepper. You can put some cumin on it, some chilli. You know, sweet potatoes love those kind of flavours. We have some cooked beetroot, and just bear in mind the seasons will change, maybe as you're developing your dish. So the best thing to do is go onto boardbeer.ie, and they have a seasonal food guide on there, okay? Which will give you all the seasonal food, Irish seasonal foods, and you know, obviously you get strawberries in January, but we don't really want to see strawberries in January, guys, because they don't come from Ireland, okay? So, you know, just think that it might change the seasons. We have some onions, which I just caramelised, almost on the verge of burning, because I forgot about them. And I just lightly caramelised with a little bit of sugar, okay? We have some hazelnuts, and usually we put some blue cheese with this, Cashel blue, Tipperary blue, but again I forgot to bring it. So, you know, some cheese with the salad would be great. Why do you think we're adding nuts to the salad, guys? 2 reasons. Proteins, yeah, okay, so protein and texture. When you eat a salad, it's very like rabbit food, isn't it? You need texture, okay? So this has texture from the gnocchi, this doesn't. So you mostly do we were talking about like parsnip crisps or sweet potato crisps.
Skin,
and the skin, use the skin of the fish as crispy if you're doing salmon or sea bass, okay? So we're adding nuts for the protein and the oils, and for the texture, okay? So a very quick salad. We've got some salad leaves here. Thanks, Louise. You lost it. It's Louise. It was Louise that burned the onions, by the way, there. So some nice salad leaves, there's little bits of beetroot in there, etc. And all we're going to do, we're going to dress them. You can make a dressing, but we're just going to dress them with a little bit of rapeseed or olive oil. Just lightly, and a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Okay? You can make a nice dressing.
Yeah. Use the dressing sparingly. I think a lot of the time when you get salads, they're just totally weighed down with whatever dressing, especially if it's like quite a heavy dressing, like an emulsion almost. Just use it sparingly. Like dressing should add to it, they shouldn't weigh it down. The leaves should still be able to kind of be light and so.
And always dress your salad in a bowl. Don't put your salad on the plate and pour the dressing over the top, because you have 2 mouthfuls of your salad and there's no dressing left. Plus it flattens the salad. So just lightly dress your salad as you're about to serve it. And don't forget a bit of seasoning, guys. Like any food, a little bit of sea salt flakes, okay? A little bit of pepper. Now you can serve this warm. 2 volunteers? Come on, guys. Anyone?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, come on up, yeah, good man. Oh. Good to get you up here, guys. Yeah?
I'll be fine.
Sean? 2 Sean's. That's easy to remember, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, right, so I think just go through it, guys. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
So let's let me go through it. So, Louis, how would you do it at home, right? Right, so Louis always comes up with a great point with salads, which I like. It's rich?
Oh yeah. I'll be fine.
Peanuts, is it?
Yeah.
Hazelnuts?
I can eat hazelnuts, so yeah.
Did you? You never know for us.
Oh, I'd be
You have a
fine.
pen? Did it? Maybe not then. I'd say maybe leave it here.
Yeah?
So? Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll grab that. Sorry, Sean, we're going to grab another one, yeah. Yeah, come on up,
Thank you very much indeed.
yeah. So yeah, when you present your salad, Louise always comes up with a great point, you know? That you maybe see every element of the salad. So don't just mix it together and put it in the bowl. Think about maybe having some of the elements around the outside. So you might put your butternut squash, just to show you as an example. Dave, is it? Yeah. You might have your sweet potato. Okay, just as an idea, you might go your beetroot, you might put your onion on top, salad in the middle of your hazelnuts. Okay, but go for it, guys. Yeah. Spoons there. Okay.
And don't be afraid to use the herbs as well.
Throw it out like.
Throw it out. Yeah. Force it out. That's it.
How many will I put on each plate?
Okay. You have a look. You do it.
One person portion all the time. Yeah.
See what you can. Yeah.
I do find there kind of a ring around. I think that's
Yeah. That's it. So usually we have blue cheese, guys. We don't have it today. Hazelnuts, you can just
Often chefs will take in trees or odd numbers. Yeah, you guys put some more trees in food. You check the seasoning.
okay, so hazelnuts, you can toast them, it's already done.
I'm not a beetroot man.
You're not beetroot, no? It's good for you, beetroot's lovely. So if you look at the colours, you know, the seasonal colours, aren't they, autumn?
So your leaves maybe
Yeah, I'm not the leads in the
might need nuts and lasses and
yeah,
stuff.
throw them up.
Yeah. When you're doing salads as well, like it's smart to maybe not have it too flat. Want it to look kind of light and airy as well. Very
It's great, yeah? Don't forget your little onions as well.
Yeah, I'll throw them up.
And then your hazelnuts for texture. So go vegetarian food if you're vegetarian, guys. Just remember it's got to be balanced. So vegetarian food, especially vegan food, often lacks in iron, some protein, and calcium. Okay? So they're not having fats and eggs and stuff and meat. So you know you have to bear that in mind if you're doing vegetarian. You have to get the balance right as well, so it's nutritionally sound. That looks great, guys, yeah? That looks great. That's it. Well done, lads. Well done, Sean, David. Thanks a million. That's it, guys. Well done. Okay. Anyone else want to plate a dish? The duck, the last dish of the day. Does anyone want to plate it up? Yeah. Excellent. Good man. Excellent. How you doing? Show them. Show you. Yeah. So, okay. Right, we might use some of this food. There's a couple of them, yeah. Okay, so duck's cooked. Going to do a quick stir fry. Just when you're stir frying, smoking hot wok. The idea of stir frying is the sides of the wok should be hot as well as the base. So when you're tossing the food in the wok, it hits the side of the hot wok and it continues cooking. If your side of your wok aren't hot, you put your food in, you stir it, it cools down, it goes back into the wok, and your food steams, okay? It's quite a hard thing to achieve on electric, and even gas. But you saw the wok burners in the kitchen there, in the production kitchen, where the wok sits into it. That's how you get a good stir fry. So it's quite a difficult thing to achieve. But always have your vegetables finely chopped. So we're just doing some pak choy here. So 2 minutes, and then you're going to present it, guys. Okay. So just off with the tops or the base. Break it up to the leaves.
You get baby pak choy as well.
Yes,
Or
lovely.
probably little ones, just maybe half them or something, and just braise them. They're delicious.
But you could do anything in this stir fry, obviously. You know, you could, any vegetables, but cut them fine. Almost like that julienne that Louise did, maybe a little bit longer, that she did with the carrots and courgette, because you want it to cook quickly and stay crisp. Little florets of broccoli. Okay, cabbage is fantastic. So a nice hot wok. I'm using a little bit of rapeseed oil. Has a nice high burn point, so you wouldn't use extra virgin because it would just burn. Okay, swirl it around, and you've got a good temperature on the wok, yeah? Carefully in, this does spit a little bit. Okay, about 2 minutes, that's all that's going to take to cook. Skim in the wok, the odd stir or toss, okay? Got some scallions. I'd always put these in at the end of stir frying because they go slimy otherwise, okay? If you look at Thai cookery, they always sprinkle the scallions on at the end. I like to cut them at an angle, nice and fine. Good sharp knife, so they look nice. They're going to go in at the end, and then we're going to add a little bit of our dressing that we made, and a few toasted sesame seeds. So again, it's just all the flavours work well. The sweetness of the sauce, the lime in the sauce, just works so well with the duck. Okay? Still nothing wrong with a good stir fry, guys, you know? Once it's not overcooked. It's not stewed. We've had really good curries the last few years. We've been curries, tagines, Moroccan tagines with an Irish twist on them. You see, got a nice colour, guys. The wok's constantly sizzling. You can put some garlic in, some chilli in. We have the chilli sauce, okay? A few toasted sesame seeds. Okay. One thing I usually do, when I add tiny little bit of chilli went in there, it's spicy. What I do, when I use a wok, instead of putting the sauce in when the wok is piping hot, just let it cool a little bit. Because if you put it in when it's hot, the sauce will evaporate and become really strong or salty if you're using soy sauce, okay? So let that cool a second. Scallions. And I had some chopped coriander as well. I did have a little bit of parsley. Okay. Some coriander, Thai cookery. Be great. Okay, just let your wok stop sizzling before you add the sauce so it doesn't evaporate. So we'll put a little bit of dressing on the plate as well.
Yeah, whatever you want. You can take one of each. Do you want one at a time?
Okay.
Straight. That might be
Taste. Make sure it tastes okay. You won't need any salt because we have the fish sauce. So a little taste.
See the inside of the dog, you know.
Okay. I think needs a little bit more fish sauce, okay?
That's why it's important to taste everything, guys. So you know then at the end, before it goes out, the last taste.
A little bit of soy sauce even would do it. Okay. And that's your stir fry. So Louise has cut the duck there. We have some sweet potatoes in the oven, we're just going to use them. Again, that would be quite nice as part of your carbohydrate, you know. Sweetness works with duck, so you can do some sweet potatoes for it. Now put these into a cold bowl, guys. Okay. Right, off you go, guys. Going to plate up.
Off you go. So plate each. Somebody wants to go with the straight duck, and somebody else wants to go with this, or you can have one each. Yeah, whatever you want. No rules.
No rules, that's it. There isn't, yeah?
Just walk over. Okay. So butternut squash again, we're just using it because we had it left from the salad. And it's nice. I suppose vegetables at home this dish.
Seamus has helped me at a demonstration in Culinary actually. He's well able for it. Lovely, yeah? So again, carbohydrates guys, think that, something else for the dish, and super. That's lovely, yeah? Well done guys, look at that.
Sounds like a pose inside.
Do you know what's great as well? Over the years, with schools that have taken part over the last 6-7 years, you know, how the food's developed, people have got more used to it, you know, they've attended more workshops, they're working with mentors more, the schools are getting more familiar with it. Look at that, that's fantastic. I mean, you wouldn't get that in many restaurants, would you guys? You know? And if you did, you'd pay for the nose for it. That's fantastic, that's really good. Dressing there, yep. Jeez, that's amazing. Look at that. It's pretty impressive, Louise, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, that's it, really. That's your 3 dishes, 4 dishes. Well done, guys. That's fantastic. That's 3 large dishes to show. Okay, guys, look, we have a couple of minutes if you want a few questions. Then Mark's going to do his presentation, and then we'll cut this up. You can kind of taste it on the way out, okay? So any questions, guys, on either the food industry or hospitality industry about what you've seen today? Any questions, fire them out there. If not, thanks a million. Any questions, guys? All good. All ready to rock. Okay. Thanks a million, and thanks for following. And the gas as well, yeah? Turn off the gas first, chef.